President Donald Trump was in Corpus Christi on Friday. He was asked if he has a preference in the U.S. Senate primary.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is Monday, March 2nd, 2026.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State. The Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Well, thanks for making the Texas Minute part of your Monday. It was 190 years ago today at Washington on the Brazos when delegates to the General Convention declared Texas to be independent of Mexico. Just a few weeks later, of course, at the Battle of San Jacinto, the independence declared became independence achieved. So, happy Independence Day. Let's get into today's news. President Donald Trump delivered an energy-focused speech at the port of Corpus Christi on the Gulf of America on Friday, drawing together seemingly every Texas office holder and office seeker. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, House Speaker Dustin Burrows, and Governor Greg Abbott all spoke to an enthusiastic crowd before Trump took the stage. For his part, the president's speech centered on energy production, exports, and his administration's policy, summed up as drill, baby, drill. Despite mounting speculation, though, Trump did not announce an endorsement in Texas' contentious U.S. Senate Republican primary. The three candidates, incumbent John Cornyn, Attorney General Ken Paxton, and U.S. Representative Wesley Hunt, were all present in the crowd. The president told reporters before speaking that he had, quote, pretty much made up his mind as to who he would support, but he refused to say who. The president did, though, announce two statewide endorsements on Friday: Sid Miller for re-election as Agriculture Commissioner and Don Huffines for Comptroller. The endorsements are especially notable because Governor Abbott has been campaigning for their opponents. Texas can now enforce a ban on sexually explicit shows in front of children after federal appellate judges reversed a lower court ruling that had blocked the law. A two-judge panel of the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has lifted an injunction against enforcing the ban, which lawmakers passed back in 2023. The law regulates sexually oriented performances on public property and in the presence of minors. It includes a ban on erotic drag shows in front of children. The judges expressed doubt that, quote, pulsating prosthetic breasts and being spanked by audience members is a constitutionally protected form of expression. It's nice to see judicial sanity. All regional agreements tied to the state's historically underutilized business program have been ended by Acting Comptroller Kelly Hancock, marking another step in the overhaul of Texas' handling of race and sex-based preferences in state contracting. Hancock announced last week that all regional memoranda of agreements connected to the HUB program have now expired following termination notices issued by his office in December as part of the transition to Veteran Heroes United in Business. Under the discontinued HUB framework, the Comptroller's office relied on agreements with outside entities to help certify businesses under race, ethnicity, and sex-based categories. Last year, the HUB program was frozen and then restructured under emergency rules. It was renamed Vet Hub, with eligibility limited to small businesses owned and operated by veterans with at least a 20% service-related disability. The Texas Minute will be right back.
Hey folks, Chris Salcedo here. I've got something special for you, the Salcedo Storm podcast. As your friendly, liberty-loving Latino, I bring you a mix of engaging discussions to help us fight for our state and our conservative values. It's the perfect way to stay informed and engaged in what's happening around you. So, what are you waiting for? Don't miss out on the storm of information and entertainment coming your way. The Salcedo Storm podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Texas has secured an agreement with Samsung that protects citizens' data from being collected without their knowledge or consent. Samsung Electronics America is one of 5 companies accused by Attorney General Ken Paxton of collecting and monetizing consumers' viewing data on smart TVs. As part of its agreement with the state, the company will not only halt the collection of viewing data without consent, but also update its TVs to include disclosures and consent screens. At issue has been automated content recognition technology, which the Office of the Attorney General said captures audio and video every 500 milliseconds, capturing raw data and viewing habits. Paxton commended Samsung on being one of the first smart TV companies in the world to make changes that will protect the privacy of Texans. Sony, LG, Hisense, and TCL have also been sued by the Attorney General, but they haven't yet stepped up. You can find details on all the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was based on the original reporting of Brandon Waltons, Aaron Anderson, Sidney Henry, and Addie Hovland. Nick Shepard put the show together and got it delivered to you this morning. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Happy Independence Day.